Welcome back to another video. This video is slightly different from all the other videos that I've been making on my channel. So, if you're new here, I teach a lot of generative AI or deep learning videos. So, if you are very interested in that, you can go check that out. But this video is going to be slightly different. Today, I'll be talking about my interview experience of getting selected as a SDE intern at Amazon through HackOn with Amazon Season 5. So, yeah, this was a pretty long, unexpected journey with a lot of coding rounds, interviews, wait lists, and a lot of waiting in between. So, I wanted to document the entire experience properly, step by step. And a lot of people were asking me about this whole Amazon and HackOn journey. And I figured out instead of replying to the same message 20 times, I just make a video and break everything down properly. So, I hope this helps anyone who's preparing or anyone who's just curious about how the process actually works. And also, quick heads up, the gameplay you're seeing in the background is Arsenal on Roblox. I honestly didn't know what else to put while I was talking. So, yeah, you'll have to bear with my questionable aim and absolute average gameplay. So, with that said, let's just jump right into how HackOn actually works, the whole journey, and everything. So, yeah, let me quickly set the context. So, HackOn with Amazon is a nationwide hackathon organized by Amazon, and season 5 happened around May 2025. Now, it's just not a hackathon, it's a talent identification pipeline for SD internships. So, I participated as a part of a team, and the first major step was the online assessment. So all the eligible teams they had to attempt this round, and again this whole thing plays in unstop. So yeah, in the online assessment we were given 100 minutes, and we were told to solve three coding questions and multiple MCQs, which were based on DSA and CS fundamentals. The coding questions were decent in difficulty, not trivial, not impossible, but the time management was crucial. And as far as what I remember, the problems tested DSA fundamentals and thinking time pressure. And I think there was also one more SQL question. I don't remember that very well. But after this round, the teams were shortlisted for the idea submission round. Now, in this round, the shortlisted teams they had to submit an idea aligned with the real world business problems that Amazon faces. So this part was less about coding and more about understanding the problem, how scalable you can make your problem, or how practical you can think about solutions. So we did submit our idea in that phase, but it didn't get selected. And honestly, at that point, I thought, okay, this is the end of the road, and I think this is where it stops. And that's where the story actually gets interesting. Because fast forward to August of 2025, at the end of August, out of nowhere, I got an email from HackOn team at Amazon. It said that based on my performance, I was invited to apply for SDE internship at Amazon, even though our idea was not selected. And this was a pretty big moment. And the details were that I was going to an internship from Jan to June of 2026, and 2026 grads are eligible for this. And this was an off-campus process, so I had to fill a hiring interest form within a deadline. And on 1st September, I got another email immediately, like around after a week maybe. And this time, I was asked to apply through Amazon Jobs portal and complete another online assessment. Again, this OA also consisted of two coding questions and a work style assessment. In work style assessment, they'll just evaluate you based on your leadership principles. You had to select different inputs from there, whether this particular answer will suit your personality or this particular answer will not suit your personality. And I had two coding questions. Again, the coding questions were based on something like binary search, dynamic programming, and CS fundamentals, etc. Nothing fancy. It's almost slightly depended on the basics. And once I finished everything, 3 days later, on 4th September, I got an email saying that I've cleared the OA. And on 5th September, my interview was scheduled to be on 9th of September for 1 hour. And Amazon uses Amazon Chime for the interviews. So they just gave all the information regarding the interview. And there was only one interview round. It was fully technical, but it had subtle behavioral evaluation also. So I'll just tell you what happened in the interview. And the interview started very calmly. The interviewer first asked me to introduce myself, then he introduced himself. And when then we talked about my projects, he asked me what projects I worked on, what is my most ambitious project I worked on, and why I made some technical choices, why I made certain decisions to make a project like this. And this part felt very casual, but I'm pretty sure this is where they evaluated our leadership principles and communication skills. So yeah, and then it came the coding part. The coding part, the first problem was a modified, slightly changed version of the foursome problem. Now I can't disclose the exact question, but it involved extra constraints and logical handling, etc. The interviewer was pretty supportive. He encouraged me while thinking. He gave hints when needed. He let me code at my own pace, and he let me debug my own bugs as well. I coded the solution in Java. I'm very comfortable in doing DSA in Java. During my college, I've learned data structures and algorithm specifically through Java, and I've explained my approach, discussed the time and space complexities, and etc. He was pretty satisfied with the first question, and the second question was related to BFS and DFS, but we were running slightly short on time because the first question took a little longer than I thought. And he said, don't worry about class definitions and everything, just write a clean Java functions. And I did that. I explained the logic, and he seemed pretty satisfied. And at the end, he asked if I have any questions. I asked him about the team culture at Amazon. How are the different learning opportunities are there in the Amazon? Some a little bit of info about his team, or how is it working like at Amazon. He answered everything patiently. He was a pretty chill guy, and we wrapped up the interview. Overall, the interview felt more like a discussion than an interview. It felt more like a conversation rather than an interrogation. And after the interview was done on 9th, there was radio silence. I had nothing for the next 2 weeks. And on 21st September, almost 2 weeks after my interview, I got the email saying that I've cleared my interview, but my application was placed on a waitlist. Now, honestly, this is kind of confusing to me because I didn't know what a waitlist means. Was I selected? Was I not selected? I didn't know. So I was in that confused mindset. I was still trying out for other stuff during this period, but uh, I just had this in the back of my mind that maybe I would get the offer letter or something soon. And after that, on 10th October, again I received the same waitlist email, and slightly my expectations went up. But again, I've seen a lot of Reddit posts and Discord channels, etc. At this point, they were saying that a lot of people were in waitlists, and I've heard a lot of people who didn't get past waitlist as well. So I focused on my studies and other opportunities. And from the first waitlist, in the first waitlist email, that did mention that till 60 days of my uh, first interview, they would contact me if I was if I was still in the loop. But 9th September, 60 days after 9th September is around 9th November. And by 9th November, I did not receive any email, any updates from them. And finally I lost at that point I just lost hopes, and I thought maybe it is better if I take a look at something else. And on 28th November, I got the email saying that you got the internship, and I was officially offered the SDE intern role at Amazon. So months after the interview, after much silence and many waitlists, so yeah, patience matters at the end, and I finally got the offer letter. Now, a few takeaways which I want you guys to know about this process is that HackOn with Amazon will evaluate you beyond just winning. And the second thing is TSA fundamentals must be very strong. It should matter more than just some fancy tricks which you have while coding. Uh, Interviews are more about communication. It's just not code. And the next thing is waitlisting is not a rejection. A lot of people do get waitlist, and at that time it is slightly okay to be hopeful, but at the same time try to direct yourself to some other things, and never mentally reject yourself before the company does. That is something which I have done. I had no expectation that I would get the offer letter after the waitlist period has been done. So yeah, that is my whole process of getting selected into Amazon. So if this video helped you, make sure you go drop a like. If you have any doubts, you can post them in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many of them as possible. And yeah, if you're just currently waiting on any job, or if you're waiting for any stuff, just trust the process. Sometimes it just takes time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's all I wanted to cover in this video. So hopefully you guys did find this insightful. And yeah, I'll see you all in another video. Thanks for watching.